Oh Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Ramsa Viraj Jai Asusasat Sudivina Yamorosa Gracias Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Hare Prabhu Om Vishnu Pada Ramsa Viraj Jai Asusasat Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Hare Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Sri Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki All glories to the Son of devotees, all glories to the Son of devotees, all glories to the Son of devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Sri Prabhupada. So, good evening. It's not very good, so hopefully you will understand. Does anyone come for first time? It's the first time I come here, so at least one is coming for first time. Two actually, my wife too. My name is Mahajan and my wife is. Her name is Kamyavan. I'm coming from Argentina, traveling around the world. Traveling around Europe, traveling around the whole world. We're coming from Sankirtan marathon in South America. I didn't understand if Mukunda Prabhu wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in South America. He told me something about that. What we're doing. But anyway, we can read some Prabhupada's purport, no? And then we can see what we talk about.
Gita?
Yeah, please, the Gita.
Is the light good? Or I can put on more light?
Oh, for me it's okay. Yeah. I don't see anything anyway, so... Thank you, Guru. Is any particular verse that you are reading or what? Not reading. So, speaker choose one. Girl, choose one. Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, what is your name, Mataji? Jimena. Where are you from?
From Chile.
From Chile?
I live in Amsterdam.
Okay, my wife is from Chile too. Okay, choose a number. One number.
9.
9, okay. Let's go for chapter 9. Actually, I opened it in chapter 9.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So you're kind of mystic or something. Okay.
No.
And your good name, Prabhu?
Tarun.
Tarun. Okay, Tarun Krishna. Where is, choose another number. Don't ask 200 or 300.
13.
13. Oh, it's actually that. No. 9, 13. Almost, 920 was. Okay. Very known verse for the Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure many of you know this verse. Mahatmanastu mampartham davim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso gyatvam bhutadim abhyayam. You know this verse? Some of you know the verse? No? Yes? More or less? No. I'm embarrassed anyway today. Mahatmanastu mampartham davim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso yatvam bhutadim avyayam. Mahatmana, the great souls, to, but, mam, unto me, Partha, O son of Prita, diving, divine, Prakritim, nature, Ashritaha, having taken shelter of, Bhajanti, render service, Ananya, no. Ananya Manasa, without deviation of the mind. Gyatva, knowing. Bhuta, of creation. Adim, the origin. Avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation and purport, of course, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O son of Pita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and exhaustible. Purport. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this affected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes free from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. So, when one is promoted in that way, by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma, or great soul, develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the answering service of the Lord. Answering service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. Jai. These are our little Goren time, traveling Goren time. Nitai Goren time. They are in their night dress, pajamas, wherever that be. Mama Dhyana Timarandasya Ginarjana Shalakaya Chakshimritam Vina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karati Vachalam Tanulam Gayate Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Vihatarnam Vanchakalpatarnisya Vikshadivyacha Vatikanam Brahmadyo Vachinuryo Namo Namah Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Of course, we don't deserve it, but by Prabhupada's mercy, we always engaged in spiritual life. And this is a little bit what they're talking about here, what Prabhupada is talking about here in the purport. For someone who already surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at least in a little degree, even if it's a little degree, the Lord never forgives him or her. So at one point in our crazy life, I'm talking about my crazy life, I surrendered to the Supreme in a very, very small degree. And now I just come here to enjoy Amsterdam. No? They put me to big class. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, it's a fact. It's a fact. You know, we coming from Argentina. We've been working for Prabhupada and for ISKCON by Prabhupada's mercy for the last 20 years as in a leadership position, some temple president and director of some projects here and there, wherever. And we decided to take some holidays. I said, okay, what about Europe? I know. You know? So we did something a little. We went to do some book distribution. You know, we said if we're gonna get money to go to Europe, we have to do it through book distribution. So my wife and myself, we went to the desert in the north of Chile. You know, the north of Chile and Argentina are the furthest away point from Vrindavan that exists in planet Earth. So we are, like we said, we are in the oven. Estamos en el horno. Okay? So it's very far away. And why is far away? Why is far away bad? Because as you're going away from Bharatavarsha, Vrindavan, from the real land of Krishna, and then the culture starts to dissolve. And when there is no culture, there's a big problem. Because many devotees think that, you know, we need to have a lot of philosophy. Philosophy is very important. That's called tattva. Tattva is very important. But what is also important is rasa. So tattva is important and rasa is important. Many devotees go into rasa because they want to enjoy, you know, the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam and see how Krishna has, you know, his affairs with, you know, the gopis or the gopas or whatever. They forget that they first need to learn about the philosophy. The philosophy you learn it in Sambandha Dhyana, which means Bhagavad Gita. First Bhagavad Gita. You learn very well Bhagavad Gita, then you can go into Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you learn. And then when you understand, and then when you know the dynamics between rasa and tattva, philosophy and relationship, and then you create a culture. And culture is very important. Even if the culture is now a little, how you say, diverted, I say, Nowadays we have Melecha culture, Yavana culture, Shudra culture, at the best, Shudra culture. The most important thing is to see how we can transform this culture in Krishna culture. And that you do it with Krishna consciousness. That you do it with Prabhupada's books. Once, I was talking about Sankirtan in Chile, and I don't know where I got into that. But anyway, the thing, because in Chile and Argentina, there is no culture at all. And when there is no culture, what happened? Women are not protected, cows are being killed, children are abused. What else? Priests or brahmanas, forget it. You don't even know what is a brahman or a priest. And everything becomes very, very disturbed. And at least you have other hellish places in this planet, Earth, like, let's say, I don't know, Afghanistan or some places in Persia, but they have culture. They at least they close to the Vedic culture, which is the main culture of this planet Earth for the human being. So anyway, we're coming from the desert in the north of Chile, where all the salt miners are. People who work in salt mine. And very, very rough guys. Very rough guys. My wife goes with a little boat. Excuse me, just look at the big guys. And it's all, these guys coming from salt miners and of course, also many people are very low class. There are prostitutes all over the place because the miners are there. The prostitutes, of course, going to make money out of the miners. And so we went to these good books. We go once a year. She goes a little often because she's more Sankirtan devotee than me. I've been for 13 years doing Sankirtan, and then I'm engaged in other things. But the thing is, even if you surrender a little bit, in a little degree, Krishna will never forgive you. Forgive you. Thank you. Forget you. Okay, you have to. Yeah, because my English is not very good. Krishna will never forget you. That is the sign of the Mahatma, someone who surrenders, but he's always engaged in devotional service. And he always searching for the association of devotees. And a Mahatma is also someone who don't see anything but Krishna all over. It's not only see Krishna in a two-arm form or in a four-arm form. You see Krishna as Shaktiman and you see Krishna as Shakti. But the Mahatma is not very interested with the Shakti of Krishna. The Mahatma is interested with the personality of Godhead. Prabhupada mentioned this like 3-4 times here. The Mahatma is interested in the personality of God. Because the Mahatma, the devotee, he wants to have a relationship with God. It's very difficult to have a relationship with the Shakti. Because if you have a relationship with the Shakti, that puts Shakti in one end, and in the other end puts who? A Shaktiman. Who is who? You. You want to be the Shaktiman. You want to be the energetic. You want to be the controller and the enjoyer of that Shakti. And that put Krishna aside. And then again, we have to learn. And Krishna help us to learn in that way. So, Bahunam Janmanamante Gyanavan. Gyanavan is someone who, Van signifies a possessor. Someone who possesses Jnana, knowledge. Gyanavan Mam Prapadyante. Surrenders unto me. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, the Samahatma, this Mahatma that is talking about here, Samahatma Sudurlava. It's not Durlava, it's Sudurlava. It's very difficult to find. But who is that Mahatma? Someone who understood that Bahunam Janma, after many births, he understood that Krishna is all that is. Either Shaktiman or Shakti. Everything he see, everywhere he look at or he see Krishna. Shakti, Shaktiman. And it's a little easy when you start in the spiritual life. You see everything as Shakti, and then you go and do some yoga or some things like that, and then Shakti is so important. Blah. But the thing is that the most important thing is to have a real relationship with God. I mean, I'm sure you have a relationship with your parents, with your children, with your friends. You love those relationships. Isn't it? You love your relationship. You want to increase. You want to better your relationship, because we are made out of that. We are living entities who wants to relate themselves with other living entities. We want to do that, and we want to make this relationship perfect. The news, good news. Bad news for someone, good news for the devotees, is that the only perfect relationship you're going to get with Krishna. But people don't want to surrender to Krishna because they say, well, who is this Krishna, Who is this Krishna? I mean, how am I going to get a relation with someone I cannot even see? And then these devotees they have difficulty, or these people have difficulty to establish a relationship with God, because they think that they have to see God to have that relationship. So they're looking for God all around. They don't find it, so therefore I cannot have any relationship. But actually Krishna is, you can have relationship, which we wrote a book. And I give a seminar. I wrote a book and I give a seminar on this book. It's called Entre el cielo y la tierra, Between Heaven and Earth, which is a book based on Bhaktivedanta Purna Swami's seminars on masculine and feminine energy and Grihastha Ashram. It's a 5 days seminar, not a wiki. And the book is in Spanish, otherwise I will sell it to you. But anyway, and in this book, I explain the perfection of relationship. You can have a perfect relationship when you understand that the person with whom you are having this relationship is an expansion of Krishna's mercy, of Krishna's energy. And it's not difficult, because the problem is not what you see outside. The problem is the way you relate, the way you establish relationship, the dynamics you have for your relationships. Then people keep all the time putting faults outside. No, the fault is her fault. It's his fault. No, it's because it's raining. Or because... No. It's you need to deal. That's what you learn in the Brahmacharya ashram. Brahmacharya ashram means you have to learn how to deal with Brahman, with everything that exists. When you know the dynamics of relationship of wherever you see around, and then you can see Krishna everywhere. You can see God everywhere. The problem is that we see the thing that we see in life, we see it separate from Krishna. This is Maya. This is Krishna. This is Maya. What is Maya? What is Krishna? It's internal potency, external potency. It's all Krishna. But with the external potency, you deal in one way, and with the internal potency, you deal in another way. But you need to learn these techniques of how to deal with internal and how to deal with external. And someone who is able to see all these, this is a Mahatma. This is the Mahatma that Prabhupada is talking about, Krishna is talking about, and Prabhupada is commenting here. He said, those who are not deluded. ¿Qué significa? ¿Qué significa no? What it means to don't be deluded.
Don't be guided astray. Don't be misguided.
Misguided, very good. But in the most profound way, don't be deluded means that you know what is what. Okay? This is a dog, this is a woman, this is a man, this is a child, this is a light, this is darkness, this is classes, wherever. And then you need to you know how to deal with these things. If you don't know how to deal with a woman, how in the world are you going to get married? Or you don't know how to deal with a man, why you get married? Well, you know, along the way we just get along, because my parents, they did well, so maybe no. If you don't know how to, we want to be a brahmacharis, for example. The monks want to be monks. But one of the most important thing a monk needs to learn is, if they don't want to have anything to do with women, for example, they need to know what a woman is. So to know if they like to be with one or not. If you want to know how to deal with a dog, you need to know the dogs are dirty, for example. Dogs don't come inside and eat next to you at the table, for example. If for you the dog is your little companion, your little whatever, and then you don't have any culture, and then you can have the dog, come to your bed and it's just lick your face or whatever, because you know that the dog is dirty and the dog is, culturally, the dog is a dog. It have to be outside, very well, wherever, with a little scarf, something, because it's cold here, I can see. But you need to deal with the things as they are. This is Bhagavad Gita as it is. Why this is Bhagavad Gita as it is? Because Prabhupada is helping us here to learn about God and to deal with God as He is. That's why this Bhagavad Gita makes so many thousands, hundreds and thousands of devotees. Because we all looking for this relationship. And this Bhagavad Gita as it is explaining us how to deal with God in the way that God like us to deal with Him. And then if we get along well, okay, you're God, I'm, a little living entity, I like you, you like me, okay, how we do it? Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Avideya. And then you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, and then you see the Srimad Bhagavatam, how Prithu Maharaj deal with Krishna, how Dhruva Maharaj deal with Krishna, how Prahlad Maharaj deal with Krishna. Who are, the demons, who are the kings, who are the grihastas, who are the Narada Muni and the sannyasis and the renunciants. And then you know what is what, and how they deal with Krishna. And then you learn more. Wow, Narada Muni deals in this and this and this way with Krishna. Wow, I want to do it like that. Oh, Prahlad Maharaj is like this and like that. Oh, okay. And then once you learn that, and then you go Chaitanya Charitamrita. You know Chaitanya Charitamrita? Yeah? There you go, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then everything is nectar. Then you know how to be with Krishna, and you deal in that way, and then you enjoy forever. So these are the Mahatmas that they're talking about here. Someone who is not deluded, someone who knows what is what. Prabhupada, Krishna said, the great souls. And they are under the protection of divine nature. Whatever they do, Krishna protect them. They are fully engaged in devotional service. Why? Because they are constantly trying to improve the relationship with God. And they know me as a supreme personality. They know me as a person. That I'm original, inexhaustible, eternal. So I can talk for hours, but I don't want to bother you. I'm sure you may have some questions, or if you want to share something, we can talk more. It was difficult for me to give a class in English, so I'm sorry. I hope you understood more or less what the points that I tried to make. Yeah.
I think English was very good. I have a question. How did you join the Hare Krishna movement?
Oh my God. I was a sailor.
Okay.
It's a long story, but anyway, I was a sailor, and I was traveling around the world because I was fed up of the material world. I thought that I was looking for God, and I thought I'm gonna find God in the experiences in life. So I started to travel around the world, and I became a sailor. And I live in the Polynesian Islands, and well, I cross all the oceans and doing all the things that the sailors do. Sorry, but I done it. And then one day, in a pier, you know a pier?
Yeah.
The key for a pier. Two girls came at night. I was at night, looking at the sea. And two girls came, and I said, I think you looking for something that you don't find here in this, in this situation. Everybody was drunk, or actually not. So we talked with the girl for a few minutes, and then I went to sleep into my boat. And the next morning, and someone knocked my door in the boat, and I opened like this, and these girls gave me a science of self-realization. Oh, another guru, I said. Another guru. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you. I'm going to leave it. When I crossed, the next day I was crossing the Atlantic. And in my crossing the Atlantic, I was doing nothing. I started to read the book. The first page, I said, this is what I want for my life. And I've been studying many religions before. All kind of religions. I've been in different groups. And I've been around the world like 25 times. So that time I was doing all kind of stuff. And so this is what I want for my life. And then I decided to become a reader of the Bhagavad Gita. Not a devotee, not full committed devotee, but a reader of Bhagavad Gita. And then life took me to different places, took me to the jungle. I live in the jungle, and I was, put me in jail in the jungle because I crossed the frontier, Panama borderline.
Yeah.
So they put me in jail, and I was only with my Bhagavad Gita in the jail, and then I read Bhagavad Gita, and then they took me out, kicked me out of the jungle, the jail, and I was on the street with Bhagavad. Just making sure.
Bhagavad Gita.
So I threw everything, but I always keep my Bhagavad Gita. And then I said, okay, you saved me so many times, and next time I joined. And then I became a sailor. I crossed the Pacific Ocean, and then when I crossed the Pacific Ocean, I was about to die one day because I was very sick. And then I said, if you save me this time, I become a monk. And Krishna again saved me. And then I said, well, here I'm in Tahiti. I was in Tahiti Island. So it's not bad. Hare Krishna. Okay, next time when I get mainland, and then I went to New Zealand. And in New Zealand, immediately I stopped on the land. I joined the Hare Krishna. 1995. And since then, I've been studying Bhagavad Gita, trying to give to others. Prabhupada saved, like every one of us. Because Prabhupada saved us, I promised that I'm going to give my life to him. So sometimes not. I'm trying to be full committed in Krishna consciousness, me and my wife. So we have, in Argentina, we have a preaching center. It's called The Loft. All right. Maybe you heard about the Loft in New Zealand. I don't know if you heard. It's a place. It's actually a loft. It's a big loft. We have that preaching center, which I'm the director of it. And then we have a farm that we just bought about 2 years ago, but it's going fast. We have a brahmachari ashram, and we built a huge Vedic temple. So this is what I'm doing there.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhupada gave us life, the real life. Any other question or comments? Different philosophies? Donations? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I also joined the Hare Krishna movement through the science of self-realization.
Yeah.
And my mother received it in Amsterdam when I was not born, when I was in her belly.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't read it, she gave it to my dad. My dad gave it to my uncle, and 5 years ago I was building at the roof and he was throwing away a lot of stuff. And he gave me the book 20 years later. So that's how I got here.
Yeah,
and I met devotees at another spiritual group, so Linda and Yoga. So that was the story.
What you keep you? I
Yeah.
mean, you coming often here?
No, but wait, the most funny part is we were standing at the table and I didn't know Yoko was Hare Krishna. I didn't even know what Hare Krishna was. But there was this article and she asked me, do you want to borrow it? I said, no, you can borrow it. I'm reading this book of Science of Self-Realization from A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. And she was like, why are you reading that? That's funny. And she said, yeah, you can come to our house program from the Hare Krishna. And I'm like, yeah, what is the Hare Krishna? What are you talking about? And then I was reading the book later on. I was like, oh yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, I read the words. It didn't click in my head. I didn't even know that.
Yes. Different people have different timings in life, you know. I mean, usually what I do is also I go around and help devotees to put Krishna consciousness in practice, which is a little difficult. Sometimes we talk a lot about philosophy, but it's difficult to put it in practice. You know, I say, wow, we have to shave up, or what is big deal? So if you have any practical questions that you want to do, maybe I can help you with that too. You know, how to become more committed devotee, or if it's necessary to come to the temple or not. I don't know. You know?
Can you share some real life examples, how to become a good devotee, or what are the things that you need to do?
Yeah, the good devotee means basically. That's a very good question. Good devotee means basically. Yat karoshi asunasiya suyosiya yat tapasasi kaunte yat tat purusha madalpana. Which means everything you do, everything you eat, everything you give away, everything just do it for Krishna. I mean, Bhagavad Gita is full of these examples, because what Bhagavad Gita does is take the devotee, and in this case Arjuna, to someone who at the beginning don't want to surrender, all the way to the surrender stage. Okay, and that means he explains all the different, up and downs that you can go. Different. If you are a karmi, you are a bikarmi, you are a karma kandi. You know what I'm talking about, no? Karmi, bikarmi, karma kandi. And then if you do nishkama karma yoga or sakama karma yoga, if you do nishkama without any desire of enjoying the fruit, or you are with some desires of enjoying the fruit. Basically, the big problem that everybody has, the big challenge that the people have, is that we want to enjoy life. Okay, this is a big challenge. And then we say, okay, but how much of my enjoyment will take Krishna, and how much is for me? In other words, if I make a cake, just give a little bit to Krishna. We go, you Krishna, you God, just take a little piece, and then give me the big cake for me. So that's a big problem, but it's not that big that you are a demon. You're at least doing something for Krishna. So as much as the portion of the cake you can give for Krishna, Yat Karosh, Yasnasi, as bigger it can get, the portion of the cake, it will cover your whole life. And one day you will say, well, I'm doing everything for Krishna, this is amazing. One day you will do. And then it's another challenge. You do things for Krishna in the physical plane, but you may not do it in your heart. And then you can surrender outside, but you are not very surrendered inside. That's why you have this sadhana bhakti that Prabhupada gave you. Prabhupada gave the sadhana bhakti so we start to mold our life to surrender completely to Krishna. This is basically sadhana bhakti. That's the monks who live here, or I don't know if they live here or whatever, but in the temple, in many temples, they are full-time externally engaged in Krishna consciousness. Many of them, hopefully all of them, are internally engaged too. But if they are not internally engaged, at least they are full-time engagement externally. So people who live outside may not have 24 hours a day being completely engaged in serving Krishna, no? But internally, they try to do their best, to do it for Krishna. Even if you do 10%, 15%, 50%, or whatever, you do as much as you can. But you always have to try to live close to the devotees, so you form part, or you become part of a whole Krishna community. Because congregation is one thing, but community is another thing. We're looking for communities. We are not looking for congregation. Congregation is okay every Sunday. haribol, haribol, yeah. Fantastic. But the thing is, we want communities. We want that the devotee that you look at your side is your brother, is your sister, is your uncle. We want a family. So you are here, now you are 5. I'm sure in Sunday feast you probably have 50. Someone told me 50. Okay, let's become a family. Let's make a Krishna culture in this big Melecha and Yavana culture surround us. That's what we have to do. We try to do that, for example, in the city that I am, in Mar del Plata. The city is called Mar del Plata, and it's becoming successful because from the beginning we never think in big. We think as a family. You're a family. You are responsible. If my kid, you as a senior member, ex guy, ex devotee. As a senior member, you are responsible if any kid is hanging around, is running around, making noise. Everybody is responsible for everything because we are family. So we protect each other. We protect the community protect us. That is the things that you do day to day. And Krishna protects everyone. But Krishna wants to know what we do in order to become better devotees. Devotee by yourself, very difficult. It's very, very difficult because you go outside there and there is any need that I tell you what you're going to see outside there. You see it every day. It's a horrible thing. This is Amsterdam, it's a little bit more crazy, but everybody's, you can see all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you are not in Krishna consciousness, if you don't really have the desire to make a community, and then you are, we're wasting our time here, because you're going to suffer like crazy. Because you want more Krishna in your life, right? Okay, just make it happen. We have to paint we have to make a bigger temple. Let's get a bigger temple. Let's get more money or whatever. Let's work all together for the temple. Or let's come and clean the temple. More seminars, more courses, more preparation. We can do it, but it's not something of the temple president and the board have to deal with it. This is something of everyone. Everyone have to do this. Hey, look, Prabhu. Go to the TP or the temple president and say, I have this course. You think that will help in the community of devotees? Yeah, maybe, yeah. We just work all together. We are not in the time of when Prabhupada came, that it was a little more basic, everything. Just go and book distribution. You are a monk and you are a grihastha and book distribution and haribol. No, it's a million things now that we have to do. Buy a farm, do something. But create that community, that spirit, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think now I remember from my childhood when you said about the community, we heard a story of Bharat Maharaj.
Yeah.
That because though he was like very advanced devotee, but he didn't have a community around him.
Yeah.
So he got attached to the deer.
Right.
So that is the story, and at the time then he became a deer in his next life.
Yeah.
And this is what we
have. Because we need to help each other. Many of the problems with the fallen, let's don't talk about the fallen if someone falls. But anyway, it's a reality. Many of the stories of the fallen devotees, the devotee who falls down, call it fall down or whatever, you understand what I mean, is because they don't talk enough, with their peers. With the senior devotees or with their friends, or they don't talk enough. If something is going on, if some anartha is here, and he cannot deal with the anartha by himself, just ask for help. Ask for help. What is who are you, Superman or what? You're not Superman. You need help. Just ask. I'm becoming very lusty. You just go and talk to your friends. When I'm lusty, I'm doing this and this. Maybe that helps. Whatever, Oh, Prabhu, whatever, I just can't stand this Mataji. Or whatever, Just go talk openly. For that you need courses, you need to be open-minded, you need so many things. It's not like wait until Maharaj comes and tell you what to do, No, it's right now, here and now. Prabhupada is there, it's alive. You have a Prabhupada like this, someone has a Prabhupada like this, and someone has a Prabhupada writing, and another one, wow, how cool is Prabhupada? No, Prabhupada is there, Prabhupada is in every picture, and he's there everywhere. It's Krishna Prabhupada. So why we don't start to do things right now? The time is now. It's not when the Maharaj comes, or the GVC comes, or my Guru Maharaj, I do something when my Guru Maharaj comes, when my Guru Maharaj goes away. I'm just, don't come until the next time he comes back, or something like that. I'm tired of seeing this all over the world, all the time. Family, family, family. We are a family, we are a community. We have to make a community. Let's focus on that. Probably one day someone asked Prabhupada, what is more important? Chanting Hare Krishna or the association with devotees? And what Prabhupada said? ¿Qué es más importante? What is more important for you, for example?
I think association of devotees.
Yeah.
Because then I will know the chanting help. Because if I'm doing it alone, then I don't know. I think the Sanskirtan is very important in a group.
Yeah, Sankirtan. Yeah. Because when you're associating with devotees, automatically you will chant Hare Krishna. But what do the devotees do? Chant Hare Krishna. So what are you going to do? No, I'm sorry, not for me. No, you stay in the middle of 10 guys chanting Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. Yeah. So that's the most important. So first create that, and then we're talking about Sudanam and the pure chanting and the whole thing. So that will come, but that have to come when you have basis. If you want to make this building up, this is what is this called? Well, it's quite light, but anyway, you need to have good basement, right? Otherwise, it will fall down. Well, the good basement is association with the bodies. It's the best thing. And then all that will come. Community. Always remember that. My Guru Maharaj used to say that. He was very focused on community. My Guru Maharaj was Bhakti Tirtha Swami. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, community life. All right. Any other questions? 3 minutes for 1 hour. To be 1 hour talking. My God. Yeah, man.
Yeah, could you give us some practical tips for building the community?
In 3 minutes. All right. Okay. Yeah. There are 3 types of leadership. One is charismatic leadership. The other one is self-imposed leadership. And the other one is, how you said in English, I don't know how you said, but when someone put you there by disciplic succession, for example. Yeah. Okay, the GVC said that you are the leader. That you become, I'm the leader here, I can say whatever I want. Okay, leader is the most important thing. Because the leader can amalgamate, all the good qualities of everyone. And he knows what to say, when to say, to whom. And how to, and the leader knows how to help people to work together. The basic thing is to have good brahmanas. Good brahmanas can make kshatriyas. We have the example here in Bhagavad Gita, who was the master of the Pandavas. He was a brahmana who made kshatriyas. He makes the 5 Pandavas. A big guy. Okay, brahmanas can make good kshatriyas. And kshatriya is the one who pushes everything. Okay, the leader is the one who pushes everything. Brahmanas just give counsel. Once you have a good kshatriya, you could have 3 types of leaders or this kshatriya. One is self-imposed. Now I'm the leader. Some weak people will say, okay, we don't want to get into the kitchen, kitchen, in the hot spot. That's what I meant. We don't want to get into the hot spot. That guy wants to be in the hot spot. We follow him, but we don't like him so much. But we follow. Yeah. Self-imposed. He won. He won. Okay. The other one is a charismatic leader. Because he's very charismatic, everybody following him. And that's the best leader. And the other one is coming from Parampara, who has to win all the people. Okay, someone put me. Like for example, they put me now in charge of Chile as a secretary, regional secretary. I'm in charge of Chile. I never went to Chile to do my service yet, because they put me in charge of Chile a month ago or something like that. I was traveling, so I put me in charge of the regional secretary of Chile. But now I have to win that people. It's not like I'm here, well, okay, I'm the GBC now, So now, gradually I have to win the people. And then, that's one tip. You have to have a good leadership. Another tip is, you have to see which ones are the skills, abilities, and qualities of the people that is part of your community. And see the way that you engage everyone in their nature. It doesn't matter. It's not that you don't like book distribution. I don't care, Prabhu. We have to pay the rent. Go on book distribution. No. If you don't like book distribution, why you should go to book distribution? Okay, the first year, if you're in Bhakta program and then you live in the temple, you can say that. In general, it's not that. And then you see the nature of each person and you engage everyone. Everyone. No one has to go without having a service. Everybody has to be, in service. No, even a little thing. They purify themselves, and even if they are not doing the service properly, then you help them and you guide them. It's an important thing. No? And if you can't find any service for someone in particular, just create a service. Invent one service, whatever. Yeah, we actually need someone who just polish the corners of the temple, where really Prabhu is a great service what you do with that, So these are the things. Good leadership, and then we always engage people. Always, everybody have to have a service. Another thing is they have to feel that they are part of the community. They have to feel that we need them. As leaders, we need them. Every single one of you. We need your contribution. Please, we need you to come and cook. We need you to come and clean. We need you to come and listen to the Srimad Bhagavatam or the Bhagavad Gita. It's another thing. ¿Qué más? Se me ocurre. All these things, make people... Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to say, he said that one of the needs that the people have, this is a natural need, okay, is that the people need to be taken in account. Taking in account means they need to feel that they are part of something. Even the punks here, around here, they need to feel that they are part of the punk gang. I'm bad, I'm dirty, I'm horrible, I'm the worst in the whole scene. They think I'm part of that. So we need to feel that we are part of something. It's not Hare Krishna, we are 5 guys, I say, you are not Hare Krishna because you don't chant in 16 rounds. Who cares? And don't think that you are better than I'm not talking about you, but don't think that you are better than anyone else. It's another thing. We all giving what we can for Srila Prabhupada, what we can for Gauranga Mahaprabhu, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu takes every little thing that we can give, he takes it with love and devotion. With love and... If we give it with love and devotion. Patram pushpam palam toyam, a little water, a little fruit. If he can take a little water, a little fruit, can you imagine if someone come here and take prasadam, It's a devotee. So that's what I would... there are many things, but this is what I would say, that... And first make a distinction between congregation and community. First you have to understand, it's a difference between congregation and community. Congregation is fine. Every Sunday, haribol, great. But turn that into a community. It takes time, but at least we're growing. And look for the intelligent people. Always look for the intelligent people. Even if they are not very trained up. Just look for the intelligent people, and then you start slowly and train them up. Like when we started in our city in Mar del Plata, and it was only me and my wife. That's it. I just went to a city. It was another 2 devotees that they were keeping Krishna once a month. A little sweet bowl and some haribol, and that was all Krishna consciousness in that city. And my wife and myself, we went there. We started from scratch. Now we have, a community of 50 devotees, following, pretty much, and many things. You start with people who don't know anything about Krishna consciousness, but all the ones who came were lawyers, people from the university. Then you take all these people. Oh, you're a lawyer, okay? You're in charge of the, legal stuff. And then they say all kind of nonsense that don't have anything to do with Krishna consciousness. But because you are there, you guide them. We take only your legal knowledge. Well, when it comes to spiritual knowledge, please listen. Don't talk. I talk. So my spiritual experience and your legal experience, we make a great combination. So when it comes to talk about legality, I don't open my mouth. When it comes to talk about spirituality, you don't open your mouth, and that's it. And then now they all initiated. People, the devotees who are initiated, in the last 4 or 5 years, they learn about spirituality. So now they are lawyers, spiritual lawyers, or spiritual, financial, I don't know, people, important people, professionals. That's what. They have that combination. It took 3 years, 4 years. The first thing is that the people that you have to work with, they have to be humble. Humble means, now you listen, I talk. If you talk too much, I cannot teach you what Prabhupada is saying to you, because you think that you know everything about life. You came, and you may know a lot about what is going on outside. Please bring all your experience, but inside I explain you. Not with puffed up, but explain. Prabhupada said this, and let's do it together. And like this, we grow together, and then it's wonderful. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I think I'm going to leave here. If you need me for anything else, I'm going to be probably for the next 5 minutes around. As long as my camper don't be moved by the police.
I think it's paid until 8 o'clock.
Until 8 o'clock?
Yeah, that's what
Okay. Well, I guess it can be until 8 o'clock. Okay, thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol.